And da-da-da, we're back from the potty break that my doggy needed. I said, "Are you done yet?" And he said, which was apparently a no, because he wasn't done. Anyways, Doctor Strange 2, talk about whatever I want without worrying about. I think I did okay the last time, and it was 4 minutes long with mostly nonsense, so. The music is fantastic. I didn't realize Danny Elfman was doing it. Woo! Sky high right there. I wish I had Skellington on today. That was yesterday. It's Popeye today. Harder. I used meat, green, and spinach so I could watch this movie and then try to do a detailed orientation. Anyways, it's a horror movie. This is a horror movie. Doctor Strange 1 was touted as a horror movie because of the director. Oh, give me a moment. I'll think about it in a bit. Who just, it was good. I thought it was more actiony, and it definitely involved elemental horror. This is a horror movie. This is what Sam Raimi does. It's a horror movie, but with a layer of something else. AKA Doctor Strange in this, imagine a superhero movie with a horror layover, just, or vice versa, which is probably the way he thinks about things, which is what I was starting to say anyways. Is that Sam Raimi hard? Anyways, the visuals that they used on the progress of Scarlet Witch's dilapidation were fantastic. So throughout the movie, you'll notice that she becomes more zombie-like, basically, and they start painting her up as a corpse practically throughout that process. And in that, they start covering her in oil because she was destroying Ultron bots. Ultron bots! I didn't even... Woohoo! Ultron bots, yes. And they're good, I think. Good Ultron bots. Woo! Concept of... I can't wait for the future of these movies. Woo! Earth 8, whatever it is. Don't care. That one. There's mutants. Is that, she's covered in oil, and it looks like blood, and it's on purpose. It's obviously on purpose because it's not blood. Because this is a PG-13 movie. It's not blood. Listen, you couldn't have painted her any different except to color it red. And if you don't get that because she killed machines and it's oil, this movie's got you guys fooled that PG-13 is acceptable, which is a lot of this, unfortunately. PG-13, this is an R-rated movie, far as I am concerned. But I love it, so I can watch those. What else? Oh, I already talked about what Raimi does in horror. Doing the relationships. So Doctor Strange's relationships throughout the movie are actually one of the more interesting aspects that I find. Is that you see him interacting with Wong, and it's adorable as always because their relationship is very friendly, and they give each other a hard time, just like friends would throughout. They show each other respect. It's great. And then you've got his relationship with Christine, which is unfortunately like a tragedy. But they use Rachel McAdams significantly better than they did in the first movie. I haven't heard somebody say that. I get that, but it's true. She was like a blip on the radar by comparison. I was very surprised how they were able to even use her this much. It was fascinating because right off the bat, she gets married. And this is one of my... We're going to go to our Deadpool section where it looks like he's kind of giving you the finger if you can zoom in on the... No, nobody's there. We could try this way.
Pardon, folks, it's a one-man show. If you can't notice right there, you're gonna see that little Deadpool. There's my woke section. We're gonna call that the woke section because that is the political agenda thing that kind of fascinates me because it's all propaganda. All right, anyways.
So that's when we get into Christine marries a black guy, which is perfectly acceptable, except that it seems in this movie of other propaganda-y things that are kind of a modern thought, it stood out a little bit. That is all. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it stood out. Which is fascinating because things like that didn't stand out before. It's interesting. This is what Hollywood is, you know what I mean? The society. You'll see the shift in our thoughts through the movies, or vice versa. Who knows? Which one copies which? And then his relationship with, oh shoot. Oh, his cape. Gosh. His cape is almost like carpet in Aladdin. That relationship is very similar. Except that, of course, Strange is wearing his carpet. So Disney already knew how to do cute things with things that fly, apparently. And they hurt him this time. It's like smacking a puppy, practically, or something. And we all know he'll be fine, but still. They patched him up good, though. And you know who did it? Christine, because they have that really messed up relationship that just keeps on crossing every universe. Fulfillment of prophecy happened actually in this movie, but it is a multiverse, so there you go. I don't know, maybe I'll hold off on that. So I talked about something in the non-spoiler video, the Illuminati, and I would like to save that perhaps to the end because that is truly like the best freaking part of the whole movie. Anybody wants to argue with me about that, they're probably wrong. Yes! Every time I was like, so-and-so better be in there. And they weren't! And I was like, and then they came in anyway. So I was like, so it made it like 10 times worse. Yes! Anyways, so then we move on to maybe some of the dislikes. I already talked about. We need to redefine our movie rating system because death rate for this movie is wow. Wow! Even Deadpool thinks death is so good because the death in this movie is fantastic. The way people died was really cool. And that's fascinating and disturbing for me to say out loud. I know. Woo! Ric Flair, that one, yeah. But seriously, I don't know how to feel about all this. There was too much death. And as a follow-through with the end, what I'll talk about with some of her through line being what it was, she's irredeemable. What don't we see about that? Why are we giving her a second chance anyways? Killed her. Okay? The Scarlet Witch, whatever, she killed so many people, and they still let it happen. Wow. This is a fascinating... I know as heroes you're supposed to let people have a second chance. She killed lots of people. Wow, she killed lots of people. There's probably a death toll that I can't wait to hear the number. But there's got to be something to be said about that alone. The Scarlet Witch, our previous hero, is now killing fools left and right. And because of a book that possesses her and the whole thing. But seriously, this is a PG-13 movie! No, it's not. Anyway. They're moving from the Transformers and the Marvel universes. It isn't real anyway. So killing people in a different universe and blah. Bullshit. Sorry. Bad words. Bull. I know that she misses her kids. That was the next thought. There you go. So you have to. You don't have to. You don't have to have seen the Scarlet Witch, truly, because honestly, I feel like, or WandaVision. Sorry. WandaVision is a good show, for sure. And it does give some more depth and feeling behind her through line, which is that she wants to save her kids. But you could have felt that through what Elizabeth Olsen did just because of the way she portrayed it. It was very well done. She crushed. Elizabeth Olsen was fantastic. But I started to not care. I was like, I get it. You miss your kids, but you've killed so many people. I don't understand where it's gonna end. That you just keep going. So it was. I guess it kind of mixed between the two. Seriously, at what point are you telling me that the lives of those two boys, because your mom, are so powerful to you that you are gonna kill everyone to get it? It is a very comic book thing to do, I suppose. And I think my suspension of disbelief in the sense that she just gets to keep on doing. And in the real world, I feel like maybe one of the superheroes might have more, the boys did and just killed that killed her. Anyways. So the my children thing was a bit overplayed for me because I started to not care. Like, I knew she did not deserve to be with her children, and people that are gonna try to argue with me about that, whew, I get motherly whatever, but she's homicidal. So what does she deserve, man? Like, are we allowed? That's more powerful and acceptable because of it? Okay. It's because of the witch book. Don't forget that. Just like in the, Shang-Chi. The bad guy was really a good guy. He was just misguided. And he was misguided because he heard his dead wife. And when he heard his dead wife, he yearned to get back to her, and he was possessed. And it was because of that he went for it. Not because he was a bad freaking guy that killed lots of people for centuries. Woo! That guy needed to die. More Ric Flair. I don't even like WWF that much. I loved it when I was a kid, but I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. I'm sure it'd be fun, I guess. I'd probably enjoy it. I'm a sucker. Yeah. Okay, so we get to meet our new Marvel character right off the bat. We're part of the propaganda comes in. Part of the propaganda comes in that could be turned as good propaganda or bad propaganda, but it's still propaganda. And that's the fact that our lead character comes from a gay couple, which is perfectly acceptable nowadays. And I think it's fine. I think. And but again, it is very yeah. Oh, yeah, I see it. Sorry, I'm getting goofy and rude. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just I see propaganda. I'm sorry. And it's really good. It's such a good movie, and I have no problem. It just all ties together. So, I felt lukewarm about the character though at large, and it wasn't because of anything like that. Like, I thought that her powers being so misunderstood shouldn't have been given approval. She shouldn't have been able to just suddenly do it and then kick Scarlet Witch's ass with like 3 haymakers and maybe 1 or 2 kicks. Fuck you. Bad words, don't care. Are you serious? You're gonna tell me that after all the fools that Scarlet Witch slayed, that America Chavez just haymakered her like poo poo, cha, poo poo, ugh, and it's over? Get out of here. That was the lamest shit of the whole movie for damn sure. And if it hasn't been talked about yet, it will be, I hope, because she didn't deserve to beat this chaos that was turning into a zombie like a badass out of hell. The whole movie slaying fools. It felt a bit unearned. Let's just say that. And I think that was part of like the downtrodden part of it for me, was that like she was sweet and kind, and she understood good from bad, and she was trying to get home to see her family. And I just, once she got her powers under control over this ridiculously lame-ass scripted speech from a freaking zombie, which was one of the cooler freaking things that they did of the multiverse ideas that they brought to life. Of course they have a zombie in it. Sam Raimi. Bro, it was cool. Doctor Strange zombie. I don't care. And then he got demons to envelop him because he was diddling with the dead. And as a result, he was able to feel emphasized cheerleading from Christine of another universe, because you remember the other one got married. We had to get another one whose hair was exactly like, Scarlet Witch. I thought that was fascinating. They were red. It's odd choice in hair color on the two characters. I don't care. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic to double up. It's like, prepare for some Irish. Gosh. I'll post this. I don't give a shit. Makes my heart race though, that's for sure. Hey, this is one of the first videos in particular of just aphorisms to just happen, so. But yeah, she just didn't feel earned. She's very good and endearing individual, and I dug her like, hey kid there vibe that, was very similar to what you would say Doctor Strange and Peter already had. And we have to move on to new movies, especially since Peter isn't even going to be like part of, the overall, part of the overall franchise as far as I know, because of the whole contract. Anyways, we get down to the cannon fodder. So we have to have bad guys to destroy, not the people that she was slaying. The physical violence on other human beings in PG-13 that resulted in their death. With no blood though, so it made it okay. Don't forget that part. Is that the cannon fodder that they used were just, Hollywood has gotten to this stalemate of like CGI monsters, I think, in big blockbuster movies, especially Marvel and maybe even Tom Cruise stuff, but we'll see because he doesn't have another sci-fi movie coming out that I know of. Is that these monster-shaped things are starting to look very similar. If I were to, they brought a tentacle creature with a big eyeball that they killed in exactly the way they should have. Boom! Right through the eyeball with a spear. And when they pulled it out, it said, and I thought that was hilarious. I was like, they made a suctiony noise. That's hilarious. But, I'm like, this is from Star Wars. I'm not literally saying that. I'm just suggesting we have these, like, atypical squiddy monsters. Guardians of the Galaxy's big yellow guy. He's a tentacle thing, right? I think. Hollywood needs to kind of redevelop, I think, maybe a structure for certain types of, like, changes in their monsters. They were skinned cool, but, like, they did the same things that all of them do. There was a cool moment where I was like, it was in The Incredibles! Duh! American Chavez did an Incredibles move on this damn monster. And I was like, okay, get under the thing. He's got an eyeball in the center of his body. And then she does! And I was like, yes! And then I'm realizing, when have we seen that before? Oh yeah, whenever Bob Parr was fighting that robot underneath. Anyways. I wonder if that's really reusable concept-wise, when you could just be like, okay, reskin it, change the things in it. Done. what was the? Oh, the Beasties. Man, I was disappointed with the Beasties. They had man things come out of nowhere like they were gonna kill fools, and I was like, yeah, they look so cool. What are they gonna do? And they didn't do anything. They were the worst cannon fodder. Like I'll give one exception. One died in a very cool way, but the rest of it's just like, oh, they literally didn't get to do nothing. They got killed before they got to be cool. It's kind of disappointing, honestly. Whatever. Typical cannon fodder. We need it though. We need them to kill some monsters too, so that we can kind of normalize killing all those humans that they did. What was it? What was the count again? It's like probably 5,000. Whatever, a couple million. Who knows? She killed a lot of people. Oh, then waste the man thing. So yeah, we already got that. Let's see here. Oh goodness. So there was a great wide shot that they used to go into wherever Shangri-La is, and that's not really what it's called. Whatever the place is called, that they was impenetrable and had all the sorcerers come at the call. And this is where one of those endearing moments happens with Wong, and he comes in, and he's like, "We'll come at your leads, my sorcerer supreme." And Wong's like, "Yeah, see, they bow to me now." And he had already mentioned it once as a gag. So 3 times on the gag, right? The 3rd time, of course, is whenever Doctor Strange is like, yeah. Anyways, so he does a wide shot of all these people that are getting ready for this impenetrable force because the Scarlet Witch is coming. And come on, you'd think Thanos was coming with the amount of just crap that's about to happen. Like, I almost would want to call up the whole SHIELD gang of Wakandans that come through your portals and Avengers here or there if they exist. I'm just like, I understand it's a comic book movie. It's going to be the same question everybody's going to have probably. It's a crossover. It's all the same universe. Where are the other people? Blah, 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 blah. It's just an individual story. We all have to let that go. It's just the suspension of disbelief part. Suspension of disbelief that this is a PG-13 movie. Is that they do a wide shot to show this fortress that they have all completely just built up in this. She comes in and she slays fools. And she gets into the mind of one. He runs away. She does this. He runs away, screws up the whole thing. She blasts and starts killing everybody. It is fantastic to watch her obliterate the place that they had just given this foreshadowing, like, wide shot on it. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see them destroy that. Boom! Damn, she wrecked them, didn't she? Whew. Let's see here. What else do we have? We did that and that. Oh, my other last propaganda-esque woke thing leads directly into the last biggest thing, in my opinion, of the whole movie. The best part of the whole movie was the Illuminati. The Illuminati were in this movie. I was like, yes! Oh gosh! They started with Captain Peggy Carter. Yes! That's super cool. Alright, who's next? And then they went with Captain Marvel, but I forget the name of her pilot friend. Oh, I'm such a jerk. This is where I lose my canon. I only watched Captain Marvel once, to be honest, and I was not a big comic book reader of hers, so I don't remember characters' names in there. Squad. I'm very sorry. I remember lots of stuff, though, as you can tell. I just saw this movie. I can remember crazy details. But she was badass as hell, and her outfit was cool as hell. It was, I believe, the, I forget. It's the green and black outfit that's the alien race ain't hitting. I don't care. And then they showed Reed Richards. I was like, it's Krasinski! Yes! They've been talking about this forever! And now, if it was true, so surely Emily Blunt is coming. So we are fantastic. He got destroyed. So anyways, maybe there's not a movie about it. Maybe it was just cannon fodder. Maybe it was just cannon fodder and fan service. but it was Krasinski! And she, I think I'm going to start using more bad words. She fucked him up. She killed everybody in the Illuminati real good, too. And this is where we get into the why I really think that we need to redefine our movie rating system, because those deaths in that room are the very specific ones where I can't get it out of my head. She killed fools. Like, for real. And you get to see them die slowly. Sort of more personal, for sure. And in that, this is a rated R movie, bro. I can't believe that this passed. Anyways, oh, Black Bolt was before that. Black Bolt was sick. His costume looked tight. He looked great. He didn't say a word. I was like, yes, you are cool, bro. I played a video game, Marvel Strike Force. Black Bolt is the bomb. He is one of the most powerful characters. It made me love him, even though I never read the Inhumans or watched the movie or cared about him until that video game. Monster of a character. So, monster of a character in the universe. Otherwise, why bother? But he gets to use his powers. They show him. Why would they? They had to show a whole. We'll get there. Then they showed. So Krasinski was actually after that. I screwed that up. But then they showed. I was like, man. They didn't show Patrick Stewart. I'm so disappointed. I know I had it in my head. It was definitely good. Of the things that I didn't want to know, that I knew was going to happen, I'm like, Patrick Stewart's in this movie. I know it. Has to be now. I saw Illuminati. And it's Illuminati. It's not Illuminati without Patrick Stewart. But I'll say, man, there's no Black Panther. And there's no, not Nemo. Nero? Dang, I lost his... It's not Aquaman. Anyways. Shoot. Anyways, it's not proper Illuminati, but Patrick Stewart showed up proper Illuminati style. So, Mr. Greatest Mind in the entire mutant universe. Let's just pause there for a second. If there was a way to just use the edits that I could for this straightforward for moments like that'd be a close-up shot. Mutants. So they've just put mutants officially in another universe that we have access to directly because of a prior event. Weird! So if Charles Xavier exists in the Illuminati squad that also included Mordo, alternate universe, as soon as he comes up, if you don't know that he's gonna be good, you're foolish, because they needed a good guy at that point in the movie, to be fair, and they honestly, they dressed him up and everything, and they, I already know what it is now. I just realized it's Star Wars. They already did it. Empire Strikes Back. Han Solo meets Lando. Okay. I was just making sure that you guys knew. They literally did the same scene. Difference is that Doctor Strange felt more convincing by far than Han Solo ever did. I'm sorry, Harrison Ford. You didn't sell me that I honestly thought he was going to take a swing at you and all that. This guy? I thought for a moment, perhaps, like, this guy's bad, so he might hurt you. I don't know. I'm betting on the other, but hey, I could be wrong. Nah, Empire Strikes Back. Very cool, though. Good standoff. Well, he put him in cuffs. They had to fight once anyways, just to make sure everything was, not so kosher. Made a good joke at that point. He was like, I can see why your world one doesn't like you. Blah, 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 blah. It's good. The Illuminati, man. Just couldn't believe it. I cheered so loud. The way that Scarlet Witch killed the Illuminati. Holy crap. This is where the real spoilers and the real concern is. She made Black Bolt's mouth disappear. Oh, shoot. they showed a story, right? They show a story of how they had to get rid of Doctor Strange and on their universe, and it was a mercy kill because he had very, like problematic magic powers that led him on a dark path or whatever. And they didn't trust Doctor Strange's and whatnot, so they made up a false narrative. They made up a false narrative of their hero and put it on a statue. Forever, the public knowing him as a hero, even though he was a bad guy, according to the Illuminati, which is what Doctor Strange created. That whole concept by itself is amazing. They put what they considered a bad man on a hero statue, and that's all the public knows in that universe. Let that sink in for a moment, because that doesn't sound so far-fetched. 1984. I'm only about a third of the way. I'm a slow reader. It's been a while. Since I could read so fast I don't die. It's been a while since I could call you. So they show Black Bolt's power. He gets to say, "I'm sorry." That power just liquefies Doctor Strange. The Thanos, after apparently he had thrown like a sword through that guy. So there's other ways that Doctor Strange apparently could have done things, and we get to see these other alternate ways that way, which is great. But that Doctor Strange died. Our Doctor Strange didn't. So guess he chose the better path. So the first thing that she does when she's killing the fools, because that's what we need to get back to, is that she shuts Black Bolt's mouth and he freaks out. But he says something. It blows out the back of his impenetrable skull. His own power killed him. What a fucking amazing spot. I was jaw dropped. But that right there is already like, holy shit, this is PG-13? I wonder if my language qualifies as PG-13. I said the F once or twice. I forget how many you get. Maybe I'll start saying the S word just to... Anyways. Blew out the back of his head. Looked like a gunshot far as I could tell, but it was his own voice. Then, she's also spaghetti spiraling, completely undoing Mr. Fantastic after she literally just told him how she's going to kill him to his face, because she's thankful that he has a wife, Sue, by the way. So there's your inclination that there's an Emily Blunt, probably. Just saying. I know it's maybe more fan service, who knows. But it was that, gosh. She's thankful that she had a mother at home to take care of her kids. As she peeled him apart like Play-Doh and then smashed his head into oblivion.